So when it comes to dying in Garry's mod, there is no shortage of mods that try to make it as realistic as possible. For instance, the ragdoll death animation mod, or even G-phoria. Both of those mods had something in common. They made it to where when you shoot ragdolls or NPCs, well, they'll die in a much more realistic way. And this add-on is trying to also recreate that. This is the one and only Artagdoll add-on. And it is really cool because it's not just an animation mod. You can see he's really trying to kick around here. Again, really does remind me of G-phoria, which was an amazing add-on. Let's go ahead and try to shoot Odessa here in the shoulder. And you can see, oh, he's stumbling. Oh, and he fell. And this one is still moving. So they will move for quite a bit. Again, it really reminds me of those other add-ons. It's so cool. And then you can, of course, finish the job and, well, feel bad doing so. Alright, let's go ahead and try a shotgun. Yep, that probably didn't feel too hot. Alright, let's go ahead and go for the crotch. You can see how he's trying to hold on. It's funny because the kicking really does look a little bit goofy. Oh, he's rolling. Yep, that's what you do when you get shot in the crotch. Alright, what about the Combine? Here we have your typical Combine soldier, and oof. Oh my god, the rolling is so dramatic. I love it though, and I do also want to mention that this mod is fully customizable, so if you don't like what you see, there is a ton of options that you can go into, which we will check on later. Alright, let's go ahead and try a different weapon here. What about the crossbow? The crossbow does have some pretty significant force behind it. Now this mod also does require the Clamp of Force add-on, which pretty much makes it to where ragdolls don't go flying when you shoot them, which is fan-freaking-tastic. You can see, yep, he's holding on to that wound for dear life. Now, I do wonder, does that mean we cannot pin NPCs to the wall? I mean, I don't even know if you could do that in the base Garry's mod. Kids, don't play in the street. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and try a machine gun now. Let's see what it looks like with rapid impacts. You can see that it's, well, pretty simple. There's not really a whole lot going on. Let's aim for the feet. Definitely not ammo efficient for sure. And there we go, you can see he's kind of holding on to his leg, leaning against the wall. Now another huge part of this add-on, which again was part of G-phoria, is that they also have animated death faces. Now it also, I believe, is a work in progress, so if there's some goofy animations like how he was kind of floating there, don't really worry too much about that, but we can see his face. I mean, I don't know if that's the face I'd make if I was dying by getting shot in the leg, but they do apparently have animated death faces. He could also just still be alive, so I'm gonna whack him until he stops moving. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot him in the face. You can see how he just kind of falls back. In typical Garry's mod, that ragdoll would be going flying. But again, that Clamp Force add-on really pulling a lot of weight here. But overall, this is a really cool add-on, and we are just getting started. Alright, so I did want to kind of zoom in on their faces here, and at least for Odessa, the expressions don't seem to change. We can, of course, go into the settings here, which is, oddly enough, where the tools typically are. Open the settings panel, and this is what you're greeted with. A really nice and simple menu. We can go into behaviors here, and it is important to note that you do have to restart the entire map for some of these settings, but yeah, there's a ton of things here, and I don't know if I want to really mess with it, because so far I'm really enjoying what we have here. Now you can see there is certain reactions like being shot in the head. We can also make it to where they hold the wound, and then the amount of time that they grab onto that wound. And then of course we have the death poses, which you do want to keep on. Going on into experimental, we have wall stunt, which allows ragdolls to flip over small props or walls. Okay, I kind of want to test that now. Alright, so I'm going to put a small radiator behind him, and I'm going to shoot him. Oh, okay, it does work. Did not expect that. That was really cool. Let's go and try that again. Oh, okay, so it does feel a bit dramatic, but it's awesome. And you know, they're not always going to neatly fly over it like Odessa over here. What if we try to... Oh. Yeah, so they do actually have to run into it. It's pretty cool, man. Like, I dig it. Alright, next up, we do have custom animations for when they're set on fire, which, you know, always gotta love that. Now, of course, when they're up here walking around as an NPC, you're not gonna see anything different. But as they go down, you can see how he's flailing about, writhing in pain, just the way I like Odessa. However, it's also really macabre, and it might even get me demonetized if I keep looking at it, if the entire room of bodies doesn't do that already. Now, apparently they can also react to falling, so I do want to test that out. I'm going to shoot him in the arm or the shoulder, just enough to make him incapacitated. And if we let him go... I don't know if he reacted there, but we're going to do it from higher up. Alright, I'm starting to think we probably broke every bone in this poor guy's body. Let's try it from the absolute highest peak here. Yep, so don't know if there's really any reaction going on there, but you'd probably expect there to be because, of course, I mean, they're falling through the air. Oh, he almost rolled off the edge there. Let's go and give him a bit of help. Yeah, they do kind of flail a bit, if they have enough airtime, for sure. Alright, last up, I do want to test what it looks like when you shoot them off of an obstacle. It's pretty cool, man. Like, seeing them interact with the surroundings in such a realistic way, the animated death poses and all that jazz. It's pretty cool stuff. Alright, I do want to try a citizen here because, at least with Odessa, we could not get the realistic death faces to properly show. And, I mean, he looks kind of horrified. That might be accurate. Let's go and try a few more. Alright, there we go. Surely one of these should be showing something. And it doesn't quite look like it. I mean, that looks like a different expression. Okay, I gotta stop zooming in. The closer you look at this add-on, the more macabre it becomes, but that's pretty much it, my friends. A really cool add-on about realistic death animations, poses, and reactions to certain things like falling, being set ablaze, or being shot in the face. But as always, you guys will be the ultimate judge. Let me know what you think about this add-on, and what you think about realistic death mods in general. As always, links will be in the description. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. Use code NecrosVideos if you do want to save 20% off on your next G Fuel order. And until next time, thanks for watching, and farewell.